What's up everyone, Ben here with the Spirit of Running, and today we're talking about the Nike Zoom Fly 6. This shoe is going to come in at 9.3 ounces for men, 7.7 ounces for women, has an 8mm drop, and retails for $180. Before we break down the shoe, I do have a goal to hit 3,000 subscribers before the end of the year, so if you haven't, please take a minute and hit that subscribe button to help me reach my goal. Looking at the outsole, we have a really nice balance of rubber here in the heel and the forefoot. It does leave the midfoot and the cutout exposed. Aesthetically, this gives a really nice view of the carbon plate, and practically we're saving a little bit of weight with less rubber and that cutout in the midfoot. I think the tread pattern and the rubber compound on the bottom really provide a nice grip on the roads. I would even be willing to use this shoe on the trails if I were looking to just rip a quick one on a flat and fast trail. This midsole does take 2 layers of Nike Zoom X midsole material, and they sandwich that around a carbon plate in the middle. Zoom X is Nike's highest energy return material, and this combination is really built for speed. Looking at the upper on this shoe, it does have a lot more structure and material than we see in Nike's pure race shoes. It's more in line with the uppers that we have in like the Pegasus 41 and the Vomero 18. I think that the shape provides plenty of room in the forefoot, which in my opinion gives you a lot of range for the workouts that you want to use the shoe on. I also think the heel collar has plenty of cushion. That's going to help kind of lock in the foot and give you a really nice feel throughout the stride. When we look at sizing, I went true to size on the Zoom Fly, and I think that's a solid choice for most runners. If you do have a wider foot, since the shoe doesn't come in a wide, you might consider going a half size up in this one. In my time testing the shoe, I've really had some amazing training sessions, as well as ripping just a solid 10K race in them. When I picked up the shoe, I was really curious how it's going to fit in the rotation. I think this shoe gravitates a little more towards being a racer, but it does have elements of a trainer and kind of lives in both worlds as like a super trainer racer. I say this because I generally don't want to use this shoe on my easy runs or recovery runs, but when I'm heading out for anything up tempo, this is definitely a favorite. There is a little less stability in the heel than I like when I'm running easy, which is why I lean towards using the shoe for anything at tempo or above. But I'm also not going to carry 2 pairs of shoes for my workout. So even though it feels a little less stable, I don't mind warming up in the Zoom Fly and running easy. It does just feel a little less stable. Mentally, I think the warm-up does take a little more focus on this shoe because I do kind of have to hold myself back just a little bit and not push the tempo in that warm-up section of the workouts. Once you start to pick up the pace and get to the point where you're a little less comfortable having a conversation, I think magic really starts to happen here. The combination of midsole in the midsole and the midsole material really start to pop. And I think you really feel the turnover and the bounce in the shoe as you get into those upper levels of speed. To me, it feels really nice to kind of lock into this pace and put in the work. One kind of negative for the Zoom Fly is that I don't feel super comfortable doing heels in this shoe compared to other shoes. This could be twofold. Houston doesn't have a lot of hills to train on, so I'm generally just less comfortable running downhill, and the instability in the back of this shoe to me is, you know, kind of doubles down on that uncomfortable feeling when I'm running downhill. I think if you're somebody who is more comfortable leaning into the downhill and really pushing the pace, that this shoe is going to keep up with you and really feel good. But if you're somebody that likes to lean back a little bit when you're going downhill, it could be a slight factor. Personally, I'm going to be keeping this shoe in the rotation as a trainer and a racer. I think as everything in life continues to get more expensive, I don't want to call this a budget racer, but I do think this makes a a really solid option for a racer under $200, and it's by far one of my favorites to grab when I've got like a good session day going. While I do try to evaluate as many shoes as I can, both for running, for the gym, and for daily life, I think this shoe is a pure runner, and I'm not gonna present it as something else. Once again, please hit that subscribe button. It'll help me reach my goal of 3,000 subscribers before the end of the year, and it also helps other people find the channel as well. If you want the latest written reviews and training updates, go check out spiritofrunning.com. In the meantime, stay safe, keep moving forward, and we'll see you out there.